sometimes when I say things to people, it seems like to me the most common sense, easy solution. Like, I'm assuming that somebody wants the answer. They're asking me for the answer, or we're talking about something and they're clearly seeking an answer for a certain thing. Then I give them the answer, and then their surprise and resistance to the answer always catches me off guard.
Yes. You've named it.
What do you mean?
You've named that whole experience. It's a thing.
Yeah. But it does make me feel different. Like, because it's not in the moment. I'm very engaged in the idea of helping them get. I feel like we're on the same page, and then all of a sudden we're not. And it surprises me when we're not, because everything going up to that point felt natural.
Yeah, like you're arm in arm.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they go right, you go left. But they
Yeah.
tell you they want to go left, but they go right. If that makes sense.
And so clearly there's something about me that's different. Like, I've had a different experience in life that gets me to a point where I'm seeing things in a different way, right?
Yeah.
And so I can remember at a very early age coming to the conclusion that the adults would say one narrative that was a popular narrative, and everybody agreed on that narrative, but the truth was something completely different. And just an abstract example, that would be my stepfather would say that you can't, listen to secular music or watch secular movies or, watch TV. You shouldn't have sex before marriage, like all of these narratives about things. But then he leaves my mom for a 21-year-old girl that he's not married to, and he's having sex with her. And it's like, well, wait, you said this was really important. Like, this was, I'm going to go to hell if I don't do this. And now you've completely jumped off the ship. And not only are you not married to her, you're like, and I never really believed you over here. You seemed miserable when you were saying it, but now it's like,
Yeah.
and it felt like the adults were very inconsistent in it was, do as I say, not as I do. And if you're paying attention, you can see those incongruencies in people, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Did you ever feel that way when you were a kid?
Yes.
And how did you process it?
Well, I remember my upbringing was if I called out the inconsistency, it was I don't care. I'm in charge. Do what I say, not what I do.
Yeah, but how
Like
did you process that?
um that because they were in charge, they could do it. I just accepted that that was the inconsistency was a part of adulthood.
Yeah. And so there's that narrative that all the adults agree on. So if my stepfather was around a group of people, they would all agree that you shouldn't leave your wife for a 21-year-old girl. And they would all agree on that. But then what you do is something different.
Yeah, super confusing.
Yeah. And that seemed like a pattern throughout. Like, my father left my mom when I was 2 months old. Like, it never seemed like the parents. I mean, that's why my generation is what it is, or whatever. Is I was the first generation where the parents prioritized themselves over the kids.
Right.
Nobody was staying together for the kids anymore. That game was over. And so, I don't know. My mom was married twice. I'd experienced 2 divorces before I was 13. And so a lot of what people would say and then what was reality, it just made me question things, because what was true seemed to be disguised in a bunch of rules and formalities and guilt and consensus and agreeing with everybody. But that all was a distraction from what really is true in the moment, right? Um, and so when it comes to leadership training, and I think about, like, all of the leadership training I have been to, in a sense, and what most leadership training is about, it seems like that also, in that most of what is taught is about the symptoms of leadership, or the external side of it, but nobody's really talking about the fact that that's management. Most leadership training out there is management training. Thanks so much for watching this clip of Service Driving Revolution. We're uploading new stuff every day, so make sure you subscribe and click the bell icon so you don't miss out. If you have a question you'd like us to answer on the show, call 8333-ASK-SDR and we'll answer your question on the show. That's 8333-ASK-SDR. For special deals on our books and training, head over to offers.chriscollinsinc.com. Now that's offers.chriscollinsinc.com. I'm Chris Collins, and I'll see you in the next video.